I know that, of course, last week I just got back from St. Louis, and I know that there was one story I didn't get around telling, so I'll do it now. I know that at airports, of course, things are expensive, but if you have to buy them, but sometimes it is true the best things in life are free. I had enough time to sit down and watch a TED Talk before my flight left MSP, and I know that a comic friend one time said that my comedy sets were the most boring TED Talks ever, and it's like, I've seen TED Talks before. My sets are nothing like that. I mean, I talk about, as the Pink song said, welcome to my silly little life. TED Talks are about how to improve your life. There is a big difference here. But the TED Talk still meant something to me because it was about guilt and shame. And it's like, yeah, that explains my life a little too much. Where guilt is you made a mistake and shame is you are one. And it's like, yeah, I spent a little too much time in my life feeling both, unfortunately. But then I got performing, and well, I guess that's a better coping mechanism than what came before it anyway. And then, yes, some of the things that I bought at the airport. I eventually became a fan of Lady Gaga, even though I wasn't at first impressed with her, so I like anything that I can find that she's on. That's why I ended up getting the Oreo cookies that she sponsored earlier this year. And at the airport, at Open Book, and I have a membership at the Block Literary Center, where I'm taking writing classes. They had a magnet and a greeting card that she was on. And it's like, oh, I have to have that. So I bought that too. And then I tried to find out if there was any discount for being a Loft member, and there wasn't. It's like, well, had to try. I mean, it was the perfect opportunity to show off my membership card. I don't take it out of my wallet that often. Yeah, there was that. And yeah, I went traveling again this weekend. I went to Iowa, my native state, because I had two nieces that were having a graduation party. And I guess it was all about expectations, where there was little or no family drama, and it's like, good. Because I think that's why I ended up moving out of state, because there was just too much of it. And I enjoyed hearing from the guests of honor more than my parents or siblings. I don't know, maybe because I don't have the same history with them. I was able to start over with them because they're the younger generation. That has to have something to do with it. Also, if someone wants to study photography, it's like, well, I like photography. And that's a good segue into why I wasn't there right when it started, where the booking was for 2.5 hours at a pizza ranch. And I wanted to go to my hometown first to do a quick tour. I had heard that the late football coach I had played for got a street name for him in my hometown, so I wanted a picture of that. So I was getting a picture of that, and somebody called out to me, "Hey, are you Lyle?" It's like, yeah. I mean, that wasn't the reaction I was expecting to get the picture taken, because usually it's, what are you doing? Because people get really freaky about picture taking. So it's like, oh, you're a classmate. All right, I'll talk for a little while with you. And he works for the city government, and to him, of course, it was work to put up that sign. So he had a different story to tell than most people would. But hey, somebody has put up that sign, so everybody's got a story that is sometimes good to hear. I said I mainly remembered him from bowling. Hopefully I didn't disappoint him, because I'd like to think that we had more in common than just that, but high school's been so long ago. Well, I know I wanted to have gifts for all three of the kids, including the younger one that hadn't graduated yet. So it meant having to go to different places like Best Buy, and I went to the one in Eden, and they still had the neon open sign up, even though I knew it was a few minutes after 8. But the door opened, and they said, well, we closed. And it's like, well, the door opened. Neon sign is still on. What are you going to do? This is what I need. And they helped me. I guess it's kind of like what they say about act like you own the place, and sometimes things go a little better instead of be the deer in the headlights. They wanted to make a sale, so and of course it was their mistake not to turn off the sign. So I mean, what are you going to do? So yeah, there was that. I know that sometimes I find out I lack motivation in certain areas, that I need a deadline in order to complete something. Well, I know that my dad lent me a book almost 3 years ago, shortly after the last time I saw him. And I said, I need to finish this book. So in the past week, I was trying hard to finish it. And it's like, well, the only way I can get that done is if I shut off the TV. And it worked. The book was Friday Night Lights, about high school football in Texas. And I hadn't seen the movie yet, but now I will. I mean, it blew me away to read some of the things in the book, like deciding who made the playoffs based on a coin flip at a truck stop. It's like, what, they don't have any better tiebreakers than that? I mean, the NFL has more tiebreakers than that. But yeah, football's an obsession there. They even televise the coin flip. It's like, wow. And then they talk about negotiating how to play one of the playoff games too. It's like, oh, all right, football's that serious there. I had some idea, but it's like, wow. And I know we gotta go. All right, yeah, next week I guess on some of the other stories. Always next week. Thank you, you'll all be great.